Hello everyone, I'm League Universe, your Master Geeky, and welcome back to a new episode. And today we're talking about Power Rangers Zeo, which is obviously enough my favorite season, if not what I consider to be the greatest season of all time. And especially after the ending to My Wolf and Alien Ranger, this definitely feels like it's a contender, and especially what it was setting up to be. Now, in Power Rangers Zeo, you have the same Rangers who are basically adapted into what is now the Zeo Rangers and transforming them over from what were the Power Coins into the Zeo Crystals, which were called, and I quote from Jordan and Alpha, the strongest thing next to the Power Coins, if not even stronger than the Power Coins, and one of the most strongest powers in the universe. And then Zeo had to happen. I mean Turbo. Shame. Shame on you for creating Turbo. I really don't like Turbo. I'm just saying that out loud right now. I really don't like Turbo. You wanna know why? The stories are corny, the stories are ridiculous, and Justin. I mean Dustin. I can't stand Dustin. I just can't stand him. Nothing against the guy that plays him. I can't stand him. Okay? Okay, moving right along. So after the command center is exploded, is destroyed, everything is corrupted, everything has gone to complete crap. At the end of my World of Power, Alien Rangers, the Alien Rangers are sent back home. It is now up to Jordan and Alpha once again to unite the Rangers and give them the Zeo Crystals, except that the small problem is that there's only 5 Zeo Crystals and 6 Rangers. So Billy decides basically to become like the second-hand man to Jordan and Alpha. He becomes basically that guy who is taking around the command center, just helping out Jordan and Alpha and making sure that they have everything that they need at their disposal in order to help the Rangers, which is very nice in my opinion, especially for Billy being the big brained guy that he is in the entire series. Zero's episodes are really damn great. There are a lot of them that are bad, but there are mostly there's a lot of them that are just like really glorious. Like they pay the high points of everything that they're set it up to be, and it makes me so excited and happy to basically talk about them. Rather than talking about the through all the episodes, like basically what I think are good, I'm just gonna kind of spotlight some of my like favorite ones and everything. Um, so don't mind me while I get reading down through here, like what are my favorite ones and which ones are um, the ones that I really do hate. Now, definitely the one that I can say is definitely one of my favorite ones is the one called For Crying Out Loud. Now, this one introduces Boo Hoo the Clown. And now I'm a guy who does like some horror things. Nightmare on Elm Street is my favorite horror movie franchise of all time, and I really like a lot of different horror films of all too. Certainly, if they can get me involved into them, however. And within For Crying Out Loud, they are assigned, or the class is assigned to taking care of a baby and basically pretending to be married, and in except that basically Catherine introduces Tommy to her like neighbor's baby or whatever, and so they had to take care of him. Introducing Boo Hoo the Clown into the mix, who is very insanely creepy. Like, I have a certain point of creepy enemies in Power Rangers, and Queen Ventura is, yeah, it definitely is my most creepiest. No joke, I can't stand Queen Ventura. She terrifies me even still to this day. As a guy who has bought this, and then we seeing her showing a friend of mine what she looks like, I almost cried again by seeing her because I think that she's just so damn creepy. What the hell, me? I don't even know. A few bad seeds is actually in a way of how I met one of my good friends. Only as a joke, basically. I was talking about how I how Rocky in it becomes affected by a seed plant and he transformed basically into a human plant. So think poison ivy but Swamp Thing, if that makes sense. Um, and so he looked at Catherine and he said that she had nice leaves and nice branches, and I was trying to incorporate what that probably could mean in his own head. Um, so that is basically a way of how, through me, through that episode, and through my nerdiness of knowing about it, that I essentially has basically came in contact with her as a good friend, and we've been friends ever since. So the one that really sucks in the first season is it came from Angel Grove. Now this episode basically has Adam and Aisha at the school or the library, and Adam is, instead of working on his paper, is instead slacking off, and he is watching old horror movies. Think like the old Universal horror was like Frankenstein, the Wolfman, Dracula, the Mummy, and everything like that. I think Broken Skull is supposed to be Abbott and Costello, which if that is true, that is hilarious on its own right. But the whole entire episode is really, really weird, and it's really stupid. The first time I watched it DVD back in January 2020, um, I was like watching the basically almost final episode of season one. I was sitting there going, this is so stupid. Like, this is stupid on a level that it should not be stupid, but it's stupid. It tries to parody horror movies, but they kind of parody the horror movies in the wrong way. Like, you have Tommy as Dracula, I think you have Rocky as the Wolfman, you have somebody as, you have Bulk as the Mummy, which is, of course, hilarious. But you have different people being the different characters from different horror movies, and it just feels so left off because it ends on Adam having a dream sequence. If basically an enemy trapped him in old horror films, that would have been interesting. But no, the entire thing is a dream sequence ended off on just a horrible note that Adam should not have been watching horror movies at night. Sure, have you ever watched horror movies at night? Do you know, or watch a scary, or do a scary game, or watch somebody play a scary game, or watch anything that is scary, like an old scary TV show or whatever? It creates nightmares. It is plain and true because it sets the horror in your mind and it gets your brain flowing and it gets I think like when you're scared it like get testosterone flowing until the testosterone gets flowing and then you end up having these nightmares because it jump scared you or whatever. So in season two or volume two, which is basically the next set of episodes, you get my favorite introduction of one of my favorite six Rangers of all time, which is Trey from Tutoria, who's later on portrayed by Jason, who was played by Austin St. John. And I'd have to say this, because it's true in my opinion, that I think that Jason as the Gold Ranger, or Trey as the Gold Ranger compared to the Red Ranger, I like him more as the Gold Ranger than the Red Ranger. He has a better character quality as the Gold Ranger, in my opinion. I don't know why that is. I mean, I hear a lot of people, especially in the Power Ranger dome, where they go, "No, Jason is best Ranger. Jason best Ranger," and I'm kind of sitting back going, "Not really." Like I'm trying really not to hurt the feeling, but I'm like, not really. No, best Ranger is Tommy Oliver. If we're being honest here. But no, I can't. I don't really like Jason as a Red Ranger for whatever that reason might be. I don't know why. I even try to kind of figure out that reason. It beats me. But you're introduced to Trey from Euphoria, who is the Gold Ranger and everything. And I love how they set it up too, because I can still remember the promos back in the day when they were talking about this. And they were like, "Oh, Billy is the Sixth Ranger. Billy is the Sixth Ranger." The promo tried to hit that hint that Billy was the Gold Ranger, and I'm like, no, no, just, just no. I was like, no, because it's like I've seen Billy's fighting style. Billy's fighting style did not incorporate what Trey was using. What's really funny about Trey of Euphoria, by the way, let me just explain this here, is that before Zeo started, back in my working Power Rangers, is that Jason David Frank was supposed to be replaced by Brad Hawkins. Brad Hawkins was supposed to play a separate character who became the White Ranger in the Power Rangers universe, and he was supposed to take over for Tommy Jason David Frank went to do what was supposed to be VR Troopers pilot, which was called Cybertron. Of course, Cybertron never was made except for a promo that you can still watch on YouTube. It was never made because Saban got screwed over by Hasbro for using the name Cybertron. Oopsie poopsie, as it does happen. So they got screwed over big time by Saban, and so Hasbro. So Saban had to use a different name, which would be our Troopers. So they brought Ryan in to be basically, as we know, Brad Hawkins played VR Ryan. But in Power Rangers Zeo, he does the voice of the helmeted or Ranger verse that is Trey of Triforia. So when Trey goes into his Ranger form, it is not the three triplets. It is as one voice, which would be awesome. It is Brad Hawkins doing his voice, which I find really superb, but also like really damn hilarious to talk about how he goes from one Saban franchise into another and so quickly. I also have to say that the ending of Zeo, I heard that it was supposed to be something different. The ending of Zeo really, really sucks. And oh my god, does it suck. So, basically what happens in the ending is that Trey gets his powers back from Jason somehow, in some way. And instead of fighting King Mondo Zordon Monster style, which is my favorite, they end up fighting him as big humans. So think that one time that Tommy became giant in Green with Evil, but with 6 Rangers. I hated that more than anything. I was like, no! Just, no! That's not how it's supposed to be in my book. I have a rule book on these things. It's not supposed to how it's supposed to be, god dang it. But there's like huge character development that goes on throughout Zeo. Like you have Tommy who actually ends up being broken up with by Kimberly, so no. Kimberly is gone. For those of you that are unaware, Kimberly is what we call Tommy and Jason together. So, you know how some people call basically Markiplier, which is girlfriend Amy, and call it Amy Plier? Yeah, that's basically what they did here, except way earlier. But yeah, there were a lot of basically great moments in this, especially there is a moment where they brought in Orc, who is a side character, almost like Ninja in a way. And when they did the Zero Ranger 5 thing, they even brought in Tommy again as an evil ranger and whatnot. And I thought that was a really good moment and really superb moment for them to do, especially bringing in Prince Gastic, who was supposed to be came on the other son that he never talked about, and introducing them into a very good way. So, do I still say that revisiting my favorite Power Ranger season, do you still think that I can say that it sucks? Of course not. It is my favorite season ever. This will still and always be my favorite season ever. Anybody can come up to me even when I'm an old man sitting in my fucking chair at home, like in a rocking chair on a porch out there, say, back in my day we had this, and this was good. But compared to whatever might be 80 years down the line. But, do I still think it's good? Oh, hell yes. It's still like fucking icing on the cake. It's still a really damn good series, and I still really damn love it. I love it. I love the series to pieces, and it will always be one of my favorite seasons ever to date. I mean, no matter how things might get, like I say that in Super Sentai, that Gokaiger is my favorite Sentai series, and for Kamen Rider Kiva is my favorite Kamen Rider series. This will always be my favorite Power Ranger series, period. And you cannot change my mind. So if you guys want to check out Power Rangers Zeo, would recommend doing so, but I would recommend but you don't even have to check out my work on Power Rangers if you just want to skip to Zeo. Zeo catches you up on everything really damn quick, and you can get everything started right as you start watching it. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Lady Universe, you're my Geeky and Nerdy, saying that I'll see you next time.